A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said, I tell you most solemnly, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold through the gate, but gets in some other way, is a thief and a brigand. The one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the flock. The gatekeeper lets him in, and the sheep hear his voice. One by one, he calls his own sheep and leads them out. When he has brought out his flock, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow because they know his voice. They never follow a stranger, but run away from him. They do not recognize the voice of strangers. Jesus told them this parable, but they failed to understand what he meant by telling it to them. So Jesus spoke to them again. I tell you most solemnly, I am the gate of the sheepfold. All others who are come are thieves and brigands, but the sheep took no notice of them. I am the gate. Anyone who enters through me will be safe. He will go freely in and out and be sure of finding pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come so that they may have life and have it to the full. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In the year 2012 to 2015, in the parish where I was working, there was a war tribal war really, between two tribes called the Pokomos and the Ormas in the coastal part of Kenya. And the Pokomos were really farmers, were really dealing with farming, and the Ormas were shepherds, they were herdsmen. And there was always a problem between the farmers and the herdsmen because of land. The farmers would plant their crops, and then the herdsmen will always bring their cows, and they intrude into this land and destroy all the crops, destroy things. And that would provoke the farmers, and they would react to them, and then the Ormas, because they had weapons, they would start fighting, and then many people lost their lives during that time. I did not experience the real war, but the problem was still there lasted for a very long time, and there was always that Cold War or the tension between these two tribes. And at times it was annoying, especially for the Pokomos, because it didn't make sense at all that people who plant their crops and you just come with the cows and they eat everything and leave the people to go hungry. And at times I was always on the side of the farmers because they had something to say that, no, this is what we rely on, this is our food. But on the other hand, the Pokomos the Ormas, who are the headsmen, we are always saying, we only have these cows as well, so they need food, and we don't have food, and therefore this land all belongs to us, and we don't know where to go to, so we have to eat. The cows have to eat. And one thing about these people is that they were ready to let their cows eat, even if they were to starve. That's one thing. Secondly, it didn't really matter. They were risking even their lives. They were ready to go to war just to make sure that their cows had food. They were ready to sacrifice everything, even their lives, in order to save them, save the cows. And one thing about the shepherds, they grew up as shepherds. They wouldn't even go to school, but they knew their cows so well, and they were so close to them that even just the sound or the smell of the shepherd would make the cows aware that their shepherd is there. And they had these sounds that they used to make, especially if the cow or the goat was missing, and they would start making these sounds, and you find the cows wherever they were hiding, they start coming together. And then in the evening, you could also see them going back home, and then the shepherd is standing at the gate and just counting the number of cows coming in, just making sure that they are all complete. And this is the analogy we have heard right from yesterday when we celebrated Good Shepherd Sunday. And up to these moments, we still hear Jesus introducing himself as a shepherd. Like I said, it was a bit annoying for the shepherds, for me to see the shepherds always trying to do everything to protect the sheep. And it didn't make sense that they would prefer that people should die of starvation than for the cows to die of starvation. And I think the love that God has for us, the love that Jesus that has for us, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because he's even willing to die that we might live. I think the love that Jesus has for us is just like the love the Ormas had for their cows, that they were ready to sacrifice everything, even human life, in order that they would have a good life. This is exactly what Jesus did for us, that his love for us doesn't make sense. It's so much that it's foolish, actually, that he's ready to give up his life, that we who do not even deserve him, who do not even deserve this love, might have life. And today in the gospel, he makes a distinction between the voice of the shepherd and the voice of the stranger. He makes a distinction between the shepherd and the stranger. Because people who would want to steal cows from Ormas, what they would do is that they would try to pick up the sound of the shepherd and try to imitate it and try to make it look similar, such that when they go and they make the same sound, the cows will begin to come to them. That is how people who steal the cows. They would try to imitate and listen many times to the voice of the real shepherd, and then they will use the same sound, and then the cows, when the shepherd is not there, would come to them. And just to say that this is really what the devil as well uses, the stranger, that he tries to make everything seem like it's good, that this is this is the source of happiness, this is the source of joy, this is the source of love, this is the source of peace. And then we get so confused. What do we really have to hold on to? What is the source of happiness? Actually, Jesus is happiness itself. God is love itself. God is the source of true peace. But then, the stranger also has given us other things as the source of happiness, the source of peace, the source of joy. And at these moments, we as the sheep are so confused what to hold on to. There are people who hold on to money as the source of their joy and happiness. There are people who hold on to property, who hold on to different things, who hold on to friendship, who hold on to people, who hold on to titles as a source of happiness, a source of joy. And this is what Jesus says, though, that I am the way, I am the gate to the sheepfold. I am the true voice of the shepherd that you must listen to. And once you listen to me, then you would have life eternal. And he says, the stranger has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But I have come that you may have life and have it to the full. How has in the world today, how has the stranger done this? That he has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy, meaning that he wants to steal us from the love of God. He wants to take us away from true happiness and give us something that we feel is the source of happiness, but is just temporary. And in the end, we are stolen away from God, from God's love. He has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Just to say that the devil has nothing free for anyone. The devil seems to be like a shepherd, but he's not really the shepherd. He has just come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And that is why we have to be careful and be able to discern in the voices that we hear in the world today. The voices making us to hold on to different things as a source of happiness. We have to discern and say, what is it that is God's voice in this? And this is why we need the spirit of discernment every time, every day of our lives. Even before we came for Mass this morning, we had to discern and say, do I want to sleep in? or do I want to come for Mass? And we have to choose between these voices. Do I have to give out something to somebody, or do I have to keep it? Do I have to go for adoration, or do I have to stay on my mobile phone and play my Mobile Legends for the rest of the day? Do I have to say the rosary, or do I have to chat with people for hours and hours? Do I have to watch YouTube, or do I have to watch something that is going to bring up and strengthen my faith? And again, these are all the voices that we hear every day. And my dear brothers and sisters, on this day, let us therefore ask for the spirit of discernment, the discernment that Peter had in the first reading, to be able to say, yes, it is true, I do not understand this, but I believe this is the Spirit of God speaking in and through this experience. Let us therefore ask God in this Eucharistic celebration for the gift of discernment, to be able to hold on to the true shepherd, the good shepherd, who is Jesus, who is ready to sacrifice everything for us, and to say no to the voice of the stranger who has promised us happiness which is only temporal, that does not last forever.